And we're back to Recettear. This is day 2. Gonna go to the Adventurers Guild today and go on an adventure.
そうですね。
だから何度も言ってるだろ。
We're going to hire him!
はあ、どうすっかな。
ちょっといいですか？
The Seedy Adventurer.
えっと
Eternal Friendship. My guess is he says yes, but...
よし。おう、よろしくな。
Actually not going to go to the market because, well, as you can tell, we don't have money, so there's really no reason to buy anything. And actually the first dungeon is so easy anyway. You don't really need to buy anything to do well in it, so I guess we're just going to go into the dungeon. Normally you could take items, so if I had items in stock, then I could drag them in and equip them on our adventure, Louis here in this case, but it looks like we have no items, so we're just going to go into the dungeon, see what happens. The dungeons are randomly generated. Ah, he's screwed.
なんで？そうなんだ。
When you first start out, you can only, if you die, you can only take one item out of the dungeon. So pretty much the goal is to not die. But that's the goal in pretty much every dungeon crawler for that matter, so I guess it's sort of irrelevant. So we're gonna do our best not to die.
わかった。
No items, otherwise I could say yes, but no items.
行きましょう。
Plays a lot like Zelda. So trying to just kill some monsters for experience right now. Worth leveling him up a bit. Although the more you level a guy up, he costs more money to hire in the future.
アイテム拾ったよ。罠です。
It's a trap!
いい。
want to attack monsters from the side or the back. You get more money, and you get more experience and damage. Not experience, more damage. But if you attack them or counter-attack them, have some favorable attack in addition, it does more damage. So it's easier to level up that way. It does make a difference on bosses too. That's the exit. I'm not going to go for the exit quite yet because I want to maximize how many items we could carry. We could carry about 20 items. So I want to go through it. Usually when I go through a dungeon, I want to carry as much as possible. Because obviously you're carrying stuff out of a dungeon. So you want to carry as much out. So for some of the people that I know who played this game before, the dungeon crawler section really killed the vibe and momentum of the game. And I guess it would be true to some extent. It's not necessarily the most fun, although it does break up the tedium, if you will, of running an item shop. Ooh, a sword. That's the same sword that I have. I'm using right now. It breaks up the monotony of dungeon crawling. It's fun that way, but at the same time, it does sort of gets tedious on its own right. So going to the next level here, it's usually when you advance further in the story, although you do get like stronger characters and those sort of things. It's more of a pain to go through the levels because they get really big. Get really awkward. This chocolate bar and a lot of other sweets actually restores your SP, your I guess the equivalent of mana in this game. So question mark items are unknown ingredients you have to take out of the dungeon. I got 3 traps so far. That's pretty unlucky. It happens sometimes. And they're usually easy to kill, so I get more experience that way too. It's good. It's all good. Again, I'm gonna not necessarily rush towards the exit quite yet because trying to get items like that. That's a good item. That's worth some money. A lot of the items I'm gonna pick up, especially in this dungeon, free sword is not necessarily that strong. Not necessarily that strong, but I can sell them. And it's better than having to pay, anything at all. I don't want to necessarily pay for anything at this point. So I'm trying to drag as many items out of the dungeon as possible so I could sell them. Or keep them as ingredients. We'll do some crafting later. Okay, I think I cleared this level, so I'm just going to go start moving towards the exit now. Towards the next floor. I think there are 5 floors. Let's see how many items I have. 9 of 20, so that means I could drag through another 11 items. So I'm gonna keep doing that. It's a decent item. Anything, I'll take anything at this point because the goal is to just A, get through this dungeon, but B, try to get as much as possible. It's not necessarily not enough money to make it worth it. This is a kobold. He normally could throw nuts and shove rocks or something like that. Louis has a shield, like in Zelda, so he can actually block projectiles, but he punched me, and he can't block it. Ooh, armor. That's good. Free armor. In dungeons later in the game, you actually could start fighting bosses. Some of the bosses are pretty cool. Interesting fights. It's like those puzzle bosses. It's pretty slow in the beginning. The game is really slow in the beginning, but it does pick up a lot later. And then, you know, once you start doing things like you start selling a lot more items and you start really expanding your store a lot more, you start getting to see a lot of fantastic dungeons and those sort of things. But gotta start somewhere, so we're starting from the beginning. And you know, it's been a few years since I played, so it'll be pretty interesting.
行きましょうか。頑張ってください。
Oops, block. So, corner.
レベルが上がったよ。
Every time you level up, you get a little extra. Not extra. You refill your health and your mana. So sometimes strategically, once you're close to the end of a level, or you know, you could strategically heal without having to use an item to heal, and that makes it pretty useful. So. I think I'm filling up on items pretty close now, so probably getting close to the 20. Ooh, I didn't see that. Almost got me. Thought that I saw an item there. Didn't. Another trap. It's stuck in the wall? Can't pick that up, it's stuck in the wall. Dang. So fruits and real food? There. Fruits and other types of food, you're gonna see other types of food in the game. They can actually, it's for health. Whereas sweets or like cakes or candies, they tend to go fill up your mana bar and stuff. So different items have different uses. So I could equip some of the items that I'm picking up in the dungeon right now. I'm not going to because it's not, you know, the dungeon is pretty easy. But say on a harder dungeon, I pick up some items that are an upgrade. I might want to rush and equip that because it might make my job a lot easier. Also, as you'll see later, I'll have the ability to probably sell items, hopefully to some of these adventurers. So obviously you're running an item shop for an adventure in the town, so you should be able to sell items to the people performing quests. And some of your heroes might be able to buy items, so you could turn Louis and some of the other characters in the game into unwitting customers. So I'm gonna drop an item. I'm gonna drop something here. See, something that's pretty worthless here. This walnut bread's useless, so I'm gonna use it, and then I'm gonna pick up this longsword. And this longsword is actually gonna be worth a sizable amount of money. 1,000. So. Suddenly, we're running out of space. Oh boy, so let's take a look here. We got some spare slime fluid. I'm gonna drop that. Slime fluid plus 1. I'm gonna drop another slime fluid. All you need is, you know, this will help later, but I'm going for money at this point, and you're gonna see a lot of slime in later dungeons, so they could drop a lot of slime fluid later. So I'm not gonna waste inventory space because I'm running dry at this point. And cutscene. He did it! Yay! Sweet mystery of life. Now you'll give me money. Bad chance.
そんなことありません。
take it.
おう、よろしくな。
まったく。
Louis is actually a pretty decent adventurer.
でも、
Do you think Goho came from when they were doing the translations?
そうですね。
Usually what I do is I tend to, because I tend to fill my inventory up, I tend to, exit the dungeon and save after every 5 floors. It's just, you know, I'm not in a rush. If I was in a speed run or something, I'd do it differently, but right now, since I'm filling up on items, I don't see a need to rush back. I'm gonna save, because it's a pain to go through a dungeon and then your game crashes or something happens, so it's better to just save right now. And I'm back. So, I'm gonna start putting stuff out, to sell.
どれにしようかな。どれにし
Let
よ
me
うか
put some
な。
stuff on the counters.
どれにしようかな。どれにしようかな。どれにしようかな。どれにしようかな。何がいいかな。何を置こうかな。何を置こうかな。
I'm gonna keep some of the ingredients. These are used to craft items later in the game, so you definitely want to make sure you hold on to some of them. So, let's see.
何でしょうか。どれにしようかな。
Alright, that looks good. I'm gonna replace some of these items here because clothes are not worth as much, so I'm gonna do that. Let's see. Save one more time because, you
セ
know,
ーブします。
a little compulsive like that, you might see me save on a regular basis. And you'll be like, oh, stop saving, but I like to save.
いらっしゃいませ。
Alright, we're starting to sell stuff now, so let's take a look here. Highball him and see if you go for it. Oh, you went for it. So, as you'll see, I got experience, and you can build chains of when you start selling in multiple items in a row. So, let's see here. I'm gonna go for 126 again. Good price for him. I guess 130 is safer, so I might go up to 130. But since I'm on a chain now, low level, you might want to get some experience. 250. Alright, I'll take it. Roll in experience now, so.
いらっしゃいませ。
The men, I guess yeah, these are men, as opposed to the old men. These guys have a little bit higher price tolerance ratio, so I'm gonna go for 127. So, looks good, so I'm able to pull that in.
売れたよ。いらっしゃいませ。
これくれ。
いくらに
Notice
しよう。
Louis is poor, so it's hard. If I go up to a normal one, he's gonna run away because he's poor, so I have to drop the price a bit here. So I'm gonna go for maybe
まあ
105.
そんなもんか。
And then I want the experience. I got a just bonus, means it was clear to what he really wanted to pay, close to it, so I was able to do that. It's a good day, good so far. I do have a basic understanding of how to sell Yepperonis. We could haggle down, so we could actually buy stuff cheaper. So, when a customer wants to sell something to you, it's like when you want to sell something to them, but obviously in reverse. Yeah, there's probably a better explanation to that, but the game mechanics also allows us to negotiate prices. Press down, oh god. So, usually go, let's try 33%. Okay. You want higher? Okay, 420. Usually, I found it actually be safer to be maybe between 35 to 50%, but 50 to 70 is a great area to be safe.
いらっしゃいませ。
So, ooh, beautiful. Okay. 39.
そうですね。ありが うございましたよ。
One more time. One more time.
いらっしゃいませ。いくらにしようかな。
I'm gonna lowball you.
ダメダメです。
Dame.
いらっしゃいませ。いくらにしようかな。そうですね。ありがとうございました。取ったよ。
Evidently, I know how to sell stuff and buy stuff now.
何をこうかな。何がいいかな。何がいいかな。何をこうかな。どれにしようかな。
Alright. Let's see what we can do
お
here.
店開けますね。いらっしゃいませ。いくらにしようかな。
Let's see.
ありがとうございました。売れたよ。
Pull in some experience.
いらっしゃいま
これくれ。
せ。いくらにしよう
Candy,
かな。
huh? So, try that.
やったぜ。
Yeah. Alright.
売れ
He's
たよ。
poor, so you don't want to necessarily set your prices too high.
いらっしゃいませ。
So the Guildmaster actually
いくらに
is
しよう
pretty
かな。
nice when it comes to pricing, so he usually could take about 130, maybe 100. I'm gonna try 132%. A little bit less. Okay, that's fine. Okay, give him a little discount there.
ありがとうございました。売れ
Even
た
though
よ。
he's helping us out, but you know.
いらっしゃいませ。いくらにし
Pick
よう
this
か
up,
な。
huh? So, pick up a flute. Not a flutist staff, it looks like a flute.
ありがとうございました。売れたよ。お疲れです。お疲れ様でした。
Yay, profit!
今日も頑張りましたね。明日もこの調子でいきましょう。仕事しますよ。今日も頑張っていこう。ちょっといいですか。
Okay. You know, we never learned that yet. It's pretty big. It's pretty big.
わかった。
I'm gonna save again. Usually like to save at the beginning of each day. So 10,000 picks due. We're about halfway there. I'm gonna go out and oop. So you could go to different places around the town too. They'll show little cute things. Fairy contracts. Some of them are sort of like dry or informational background, and others of them are really, really cute. We'll be able to see some of those later in the game. So, alright, so Swordsman Louis. Let's see here. Let's see where we could go. So I'm gonna go check out the new dungeon here. So we're gonna go through the first 5 floors. Gonna do this, and then I'm gonna stop the recording for the day. Or stop for this episode at least. Of course, if I stop getting manhandled by monsters in the dungeon, be a lot easier. So, like I was doing in the previous game, previous dungeon, I'm gonna try to load up on items because I don't want to pay for anything quite yet. Because as you know, we have to pay off a debt, so might as well try to get a score as many free items as possible. And you know, we have to pay for Louis' services too. So, you know, pay about, I think, 300 picks right now, so, or 600 picks, so we set ourselves back a little bit. So we're gonna see if we can grab some items to make it back. Make back some of that money. Which I assume we will. The game is pretty nice about that.
ちゃんとついて
At
こい
least in
よ
the。earlier levels.
頑張ってください。
It's a bomb. getting all these blank ingredients, so I don't know what to tell you. You have to take them out of the dungeon to get them identified. They don't have like scrolls of identification in this game, so none of that business. Just gonna have to keep dungeon grinding and crawling and for items. Shark fins are actually worth some money, I think. Let's check. Yeah, 2,000. That's good. So I could sell it for probably about 2,400. So move this on our way. See, it's already worth it. Dungeon crawling makes it worth it. I mean, you feel pretty good when you get some good items in dungeon crawling. Makes it all worthwhile. Stop getting that. It's a lot easier when you're not recording. When you're recording, you don't have the same like sort of like player performance. You know, it's like suddenly you know you're being watched, and then you're like saying you're used to be all pro, all good, and then suddenly you're being watched. It's like, oh, okay, wonderful. Getting curb stomped by really basic monsters or animals. I was about to say animals. Yeah, these are animals. Sometimes it's not fair. On the other hand, I'm doing okay because I'm going to level up relatively soon. So I'm just going to keep killing monsters and trying to get a few more experience points. The next floor, I think floor 5 is going to have a boss, so I'm going to try to enter in the level as enter into the next floor as cleanly as possible. Meaning I'm going to see either strategically level up, or, you know, just level up to the best of my ability. See, I just healed, so in retrospect, if I was close to the exit and I had full inventory, then I would just exit, because I wouldn't need to pick up any more items. I just go straight to the boss. But since I'm item grinding right now, it's okay. You know, and something entertaining might happen, like me getting my butt kicked by monsters. We're missing. That's a third item. That'll come in handy if I ever get to face something else. So, my inventory is about 75% full, so a little bit more space, but starting to run slowly out of space. So I'm just gonna wander around the level a bit, try to get a few more items, and then see what happens. That's 17, I think. 17 items. Still good. I have not found the exit yet. So in this game, you have to balance between dungeon crawling. Oh, there's the exit. You have to balance between dungeon crawling and going through the dungeons too quickly, and all that sort of fun stuff. You know, you want items, you have to grind for it. And then you're also against the timer too. Not like the timer in the dungeon, timer in game. So you have you know, those days of the weeks go by pretty quickly, because every time you go in the dungeon, it takes 2 segments away from your day. So you sort of have to balance it out. You can't just go to the dungeon every day, because then you don't have time to sell anything, because you're dungeon crawling. So you have to do your best. Do your best to balance it out. Let's see if I could get one more item. So, besides, you know, still have a little bit of ways to level up, so I'm just gonna do that. Do that for a bit. Try to get one more item out, squeeze another item, or squeeze some more experience out. those drain you if they touch you, so, you know, and then they hurt you, and they don't have a cooldown time. Okay, ooh, honey. So, alright, we'll skate our way towards the end of the level. So, see, I'm gonna maybe take the long way around so we can get some experience points. Let's see here. Don't need the Warren Sword. I'm gonna take gamble on the unknown and take an ingredient because the Warren Sword isn't worth that much money. So I think I could do without it. We'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. I don't know what I have until I actually get out of the level. So gotcha. But yeah, it's a pretty enjoyable game. It's very relaxing. King Slime, so this one's not too bad. You have to dodge around a bit, you know, move around. So you have to kill the slime. Killing the slime first will allow you to because every time the king slime goes down in size, it hurts him a little less. But your attacks hurt him more. So obviously you don't want to be touched by him because it hurts. So I'm gonna play very conservatively right now. Really conservatively. Just gonna hammer him now. Hammer him. There we go. Very cool. Do 5 floors. Gonna hit, and I'll head back to town. Looks like I got a fur ball. The ingredient was a fur ball, so 110. Didn't necessarily gamble right, but it works out. Alright, gonna go back to Recettear. Start putting items up for sale. I'm gonna hold the good some of the good items until tomorrow morning because it'll allow me to sell to a wider audience and it'll make my life a lot easier. Not all the good items, some of the good items. Yeah, it is your lucky day. Pick up the wand staff. I always call it a flute. It's not a flute. Because I'm getting on his good side, I'm probably gonna start, you know, building up some customer trust and build up the price a bit. Okay, that's good. It's a fair price. He's happy.
おやすみなさい。今日も頑張りましたね。明日もこの調子でいきましょう。おはようございます。何がいいかな。何を置こうかな。何がいいかな。何がいいかな。
Alright. I'm going to save. And I'm gonna end the episode here. So, thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Feel free to subscribe if you like watching. Tell me how it is. If you guys want to see anything specific, let me know. Feel free to drop hints or comments. Right? Thanks for watching.